Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Brewton, and I am the owner of Medicare Answers Now. Today, we are talking about AEP's over. What the hell do we do now, right? Welcome to everybody that is on the call. It looks like we're just under about 200 people so far, and it keeps climbing. For those of you that are new, as we were talking before I hit the record button, it's great to see you all, and it looks as though I've got y'all from all over the country, from California, from coast to coast. Um, for those of you that are new, just so that way I do the quick welcomes and you know, well, who is this that's talking? I've been in the industry about just under 20 years now. I run an FMO out of Cleveland, Ohio called Medicare Answers Now. I do a ridiculous amount of teaching. And Ricardo, I love you, but no. Um, so I do a ridiculous amount of teaching, and this is actually the first class in the series that will go all the way until next August. Um, if you are looking for classes, you can go to medicareanswersnow.com/um, calendar, and you will actually see all of the classes and all of the things that I do. So if you click into here, you will see a real-time calendar that has all of the different industry events as well as any of the classes that I am teaching. If we go into January, you'll see that you've got everything from goal setting. I'm going to actually start teaching continuing education. They're starting to get approved for 20, I think 26 states is what I'm working on. So the first Tuesday of every month after January 7th, because of course January 1st is the first Tuesday. So January 7th is the first CE class. That one is going to be a 2-hour CE that is Medicare, where's it going and why? And then February 4th is going to be ethics. 3 hours of ethics. It is free to you guys. Most of my content is. And if it turns on, great. For those of you that cannot get the CE, which California and Florida are being a little weird right now, you can audit the class if you want, and it's done in my style, which you will learn as we go through today. But just register for the classes that you want, guys, and love to have you. For Arizona is in process, Kim, so give me a few, and as they get approved, I will publish the list when we get closer to that date so that you have a full listing of them. Um, Other things for you guys to know, I do 3 conferences every year. So, for one of the things that the first one coming up is Medicarians. I am the sponsor for the Agent Symposium and the creative director for the content on the Medicare side. That with Medicarians, that one is a free ticket. The dates on that are March 31st to April 2nd. What you need to do is just get yourself there. You want a hosted ticket. So when you go to Medicarians.com, get a ticket, go to a hosted ticket, put my name in, put referred by, and put Amanda, and then they will issue you a free ticket. Um, all you got to do is get yourself there. That what is different about that particular conference is that it is it's huge. It's a trade show. It's the industry's largest trade show. All of the movers and shakers are there. Last year we were over capacity at 3,000 people. So we moved venues so that we can accommodate 4,000 people. This year you'll be able to learn about Medicare, ACA, life insurance, wealth. All of it is there. It's got a massive expo. The hosted agent is that you're going to walk through the expo and meet with the different vendors that are there, which you're going to do. I mean, they have puppies and they have alcohol. Why wouldn't you, right? So come check that conference out. That conference is all about the future of what we do. That is being able to see the various people that do all the product development and the marketing and all the latest technology that's out there. Highly recommend it. The next conference after that is Medicare Margaritas. Medicare Margaritas is in its third year. That one is in Orange Beach, Alabama. The dates on that are April 28th through the 30th. Um, Medicarians is in Las Vegas, guys. So Medicarians is March 31st to April 2nd. Medicare Margaritas is April 28th to the 30th. That one is a deep dive. So this is my conference that is family friendly. Most people fly down, they get a condo and they stay Saturday to Saturday. With that conference, we are doing 2 hour deep dives each day, where we sink our teeth into staffing, systems, marketing, cross-selling, and really look at sharing best practices with the group that is there. This year, we expect about 100 people there. You go to school from 8 to noon, and then we end at noon. You go home, play with your family, go hit a bar, go to the beach, do whatever. Meet back up with us in the afternoon. We usually go to one of the bars, like Floribama and Lulu's. Wednesday, I am planning where we're going to go check out the Blue Angels, and then we're going to go to Johnson's Beach for uh the hold on a minute. We're going to go to Johnson's Beach and finish the class there on the beach on Wednesday and then do the beach party. So super cool event, Medicare Margaritas. Again, it's Orange Beach, Alabama. You fly into Pensacola, Florida. Next one that I have, the last conference that I do that's big is ms.medicare, which is in its fifth year. And that one, guys are allowed to come if you want to volunteer and help, but it is primarily a women's conference. It is women leaders in the Medicare space showing other women what we do and what's possible. Because there's all sorts of different angles, and it's July 14th and 15th. And then that weekend before, this year, we are doing a Golden Girl themed Sunday Fun Day. And then the party that we do Monday is going to be a Grease themed 1950 sock hop. So a lot of fun. And for those of you, which I just had quite a few more join in, welcome. Um, those are the conferences, and that information is going to come into play just as we're talking about the hell do you do after AEP? Where should you be focusing? What needs to happen? All of that type of stuff, right? So, for those of you that are new, welcome. As I said, my name's Amanda Brewton. I am the owner of Medicare Answers Now. I'm also on the NABIP Medicare Advisory Group, which is NABIP, for those of you that don't know, is one of our professional organizations that advocates on your behalf with all of the stuff going on legislatively. There's other classes that I am doing. This is the precursor to the business strategy and goal setting class that is going to be at 12:30 on Monday, next Monday the 16th. That is a 2 hour class where we're going to go into next steps from this class. Then on the 18th, there is a Medicare State of the Union that a couple of my ladies asked if I would be open to teaching what I think is going to happen with the new legislators coming in, new legislation, and all of that type of stuff. So we're going to talk about that on the 18th. And I think I have that scheduled at 1 o'clock to accommodate the West Coast. So I'm trying to get a little bit later with my start time so that way I can cover coast to coast and not have my West Coast people have to be up at the crack of dawn with what we do, right? So moving into today's content, when first off, congratulations, guys. This AEP has been unprecedented on so many levels. And yes, I'm a crier, so if you see me cry, it's just because I love what I do. Um, Congratulations. I know some of you, this was one hell of a ride. I know many of you are exhausted. I know some of you are scared, especially with a lot of the plans going non-commissionable this year and things that had happened. But if you made it through, congratulate yourself. Take your wife or your husband out, do some quality time. Take yourself to dinner. You worked really hard over the last 6 months to get yourself here, and you deserve to have that. For those of you who are new, I come and teach and I look at everything. I'm not going to just pitch you product. I'm not going to sell you a goddamn thing. I am as straight as it comes. As you can see, there is absolutely no filter, which I am opening up and starting a YouTube channel for 2024, 5, which is going to be Insurance Unfiltered. Go figure. Is the name of my new YouTube channel where I'm going to start doing videos that you guys can reference in addition to these longer videos that I'm doing. And I'm going to tell it to you like it is. And the goal is to empower you. It is not to make you feel like hell because you didn't do enough and you're not, selling 20 hours a day and living in a mansion, flying on a jet. That's not how I roll. My goal my why is to change the stereotype of what an insurance agent is. My why is to make you better. My why is to get you to achieve your dreams. My money comes along the way. And I work to travel. So I'm not looking to flaunt anything other than that cool ass vase that's right there and my Mickey Mouse ears that are behind there. That thank you, George, for giving me those. Those things are the bestest thing ever. So congratulate yourself. Take you to dinner. And I see in the chat box several of you are congratulating each other. That's how I roll. This is not a contest between anybody but yourself. It is, and how you should be gearing your success is, did you improve over last year? If you didn't, we need to look at that. And there's a few things that I've seen, so I want to go ahead and debrief on a little bit about that. And then I want to show you what you need to start thinking about for Monday's class, as well as to get you rolling into a 2025 that is successful. So the first thing and some of you who have been on my webinars before have heard me say, y'all can't listen for shit. You can't. The amount of lack of following directions is ridiculous. So I would say number one thing that all salespeople need to get better at is listen. You've got to be able to listen. And why is that so important? Because if you can't listen to me, that means that you can't listen to your client. And when your client is trying to go ahead and tell you what they need, because we're problem solvers, we aren't salespeople, we are problem solvers. They are coming to us lost and confused about their insurance. They are coming to us to try to understand what the hell they need to do because they've worked all of their life and they've been told that, hey, they now qualify for Medicare, but they have no idea of what that means. So, what you want to go ahead and do is you need to, as a personal development thing for every one of you, you need to learn how to listen and listen with intent. There's a difference. Some of you will listen to reply. You're listening to somebody, da 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 da, and you're so fast thinking about, well, can she shut up now? Because I'm going to justify what I'm thinking. Versus listening with intent to go, well, why are they saying that? Is there some validity to what's being said? Do I really need to work on this? And candidly, we all do, right? So that is the first thing that I would say as a work room for improvement. You want to do that. Now, many of you have gone ahead and watched me over the years talk about these notebooks. I have actually 3 of them here. Okay. Anybody that's been in my classes before, remember why it is that I have 3 notebooks? What are the 3 of them? Anybody remember? You have one that is a best practice notebook. That notebook is always with you. That notebook is to go ahead and say what worked well and what didn't. You like that you did this marketing, you tried something new with marketing and it worked. Or, you know what? I sent out these cards or this invitation too late. Or, you know what? This product needs a better tweak on its drug stuff. The reason why you need that is come candidly in about a week, your carriers and your FMO are going to start coming to you asking you for what worked well this AEP. How did you do? What didn't? How do we improve for next year? And you want to kind of sound smart. You want to be able to tell them what did work well, what didn't. And that does not mean that you blast them just because of the commission stuff, which we'll talk about that in a minute. You want to talk about the fact that, hey, you know what? I thought it was really great that you decided to cover more diabetes medicines at a tier 2 or a tier 1 this year over last year. That really helped my clients. Or there's this particular medicine that it's really popular right now and it's coming in as tier 4 and it would be really, and Medical Mutual has it as a tier 2. You may want to look at changing that, right? So you want to talk about that. You want to be able to look at, were you crazed and nervous and overwhelmed before AEP even started? I know so many of you that the whole goal of your upline is between July 1 and October 1 is to get you ready for the upcoming AEP. That includes learning and education. It includes developing marketing plans with you. It includes making sure that your certifications are done. It includes keeping you up on the latest regulation changes and compliance stuff that happens. Did you get what you needed? That's a question you have to think about real hard over the next month. Did you get what you needed from your business partners? And this is a two-way street, okay? So you need to look at, did you get the support that you needed this AEP to be able to function and fire on all cylinders like a fine-tuned car? If you did, great, game on. And you want to mark that on your notebook and say, you know what? This worked well for me. I came correct. I did my certifications the first week of July. I knocked everything out. I was prepared. I pre-did all of my holiday cards. I pre-did all of my turning 65 stuff. I took and I sent out my letters and my retire flow stuff so that I had all of my appointments done ahead of time. Some of you did all of that and you were kicking and it was great. Others of you took the summer off. You didn't learn your products until November. Some of you, and yes, I'm calling you out. You did, because I watched the questions in the chat in my Facebook groups. When you are just learning how to go ahead and learn your products in the middle of November, you are way late when it comes to that. That is a note for next year. You probably want to go ahead and get on board with getting that done way earlier than you did. If your numbers weren't where they were, I guarantee you that's why. There are certain things that you want to make sure that you do. And the reason why you look back and you analyze last year is you cannot do better if you don't take accountability for the beginning of the year or this year and know what worked well and what didn't. You have to be able to do that. You have to self-critique. You also need to ask those around you and say, what could I have done better? I do this all the time. Don't think I'm not above it. There isn't anything that I ask you to do that I don't do with my own business, with my employees, with my business partners, with the agents that work with me, and with my colleagues. It is referred to as a 360 review, and you need to do that for yourself. Because until you do that, you will not have a reality check that you need, because you may think the one thing, and here it is, people are observing something totally different. And that is super important that you pay attention to that pulse. So I don't gloat, guys. I am not that person that flashes, but some of you, because I have so many that are new, I need to share some things so that that way you go, well, who the hell is she to go ahead and talk about these things? I built a multi-million-dollar business inside of 4 years. I did it all by referral. I practice what I preach. I make mistakes and I show you that I make mistakes. Follow me on social media. That's how most of you found me. I will show you the transparency. I show you when I have a really bad day and I hate my job and I want to quit. And then I show you the next day where I am on fire and all excited because I've won an award or done something and made something happen. I want you to see the reality of what it is to be a business owner, to have a life, have a personal life as well as a business life, and to be successful in this and that ride that goes along with it. You have to do that. My business has been in place for 4 years, Gloria. I have been in the industry for 20. So I have a carrier background. I worked for Aetna, I worked for Anthem, and then I got sick and went out on my own, and that's when I built my agency. So these are all of the things that you want to do. So your first notebook, Lauren, is about your best practices. You want to look at what worked well this starting in July, what worked well for this past AEP and what didn't. Where are the things where you're going, shit, I'll never do that again. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Having, 15 appointments in a day. You probably want to reel that back a little bit. Or having it where you did events that were large scale, but you didn't send the invites out on those until 2 weeks before the event. And here it is, you wonder why you didn't have a packed house. You didn't give them enough time to RSVP and them to get that stuff in the mail. Were you your own event promoter? Those are all of the things that you want to go ahead and ask yourself. Now, in your year in review, you also want to look at staffing. Do you need help? Bunch of you went ahead and said, I am underwater. I need so much help. I don't know how to do this. I'm used to running a business that is just me. How do I turn this from a quote unquote hobby or a part-time dabble in this to, oh, I now have a full-fledged business? How do I hire employees? How do I look at the virtual assistant VAs? I have 5 of them. How do you go ahead and establish an agency because you're rolling against your social security number? How do you change uplines because you hate yours? Or how do you go ahead and get your upline to help you more? Those are all things that you have to ask yourself in that year in review. We are going to go down that rabbit hole on Monday about a lot of those things. Okay. When it comes to the second notebook, that is where you put all of your marketing ideas. That is where, when you are scrolling through Facebook and you go, you know what? That's a really cool idea that Andrea had about going ahead and doing karaoke at our senior centers. Or Bridget is doing a walk where she does video and she has a whole bunch of old ladies that now walk with her, and it started with 1 or 2 and now she's got a pack of them that go every week. um there are so many different ideas that you can collaborate with other agents with, that you really want to keep a notebook of all of those ideas. We have, my whole staff does this, so that because I have ideas and the list is super, super long, and then we grab 3 to 5 of them, and then we institute them, and then we come back, we grab a couple more, and then we grab a couple more. The whole marketing plan side of this bus is another class of mine that I do. There's three foundational classes that I do: business strategy and goal setting, marketing, and how to have a sales conversation. Now, any good FMO is going to help you with your foundational skills on how to set your business up and how to get rocking and rolling, and helping you develop a business plan. But you got to identify what you want to be when you grow up, because all of you have different goals. Some of you are going to go, I do this to get out of my house because, I need something to do. I need to pay the bills. Others of you, you're newlywed with new babies and going, I have to provide for my family and I want to rule the world one day. I want a business like you have. Everybody's goals are personal, and your upline should work with you on your personal goals to develop you into that next level. That is what they should do. However, they're not doing the work for you. And some of you want your FMO to do the work for you. And that's not how it goes. You have to have your own voice and advocate for yourself. So saying, hey, I need this. I got to get on your calendar. Can we spend an hour? And here's where I'm looking at going. How can you help me get to this next place? You have to use your voice. And that is going to be a common thread with me for the next year, is for you to understand how powerful your voice is. If you want something, you have to use your voice to go after it and get it. What do you think I do? Right? So, and some of you, it scares the hell out of. Others, you have to be able to go and do that. Terry, I talked a little bit too fast, so let me say those three foundational classes. The first one is business strategy and goal setting. The second one is marketing. And the third one is how to have a sales conversation. Because many of you that are new, you take all the certifications, but nobody's ever actually taught you what to do, what to say, how to actually work on that type of stuff. And this gives you an idea of where to go with it. It's not the end all be all. It's a suggestion. It is best practices that I take from all of my high producers and go, okay, here's what they're doing. This may work for you. But you got to ask the questions to be able to answer these types of things, right? So, your marketing training or the marketing notebook that has all your ideas. I teach a three-prong marketing approach. Many of you know this. Those three prongs are community, online, and print. Community, online, and print. You want to load your funnel. Think of marketing as a big funnel, and you have all of these three main categories within the funnel. You want to have activities in each of those three funnels that continually load your visibility within the communities so that your phone continues to ring, right? So the marketing class that I teach is going into the weeds about those three funnels. And there are tons of books on this. You want to not only look at just insurance focused marketing stuff, you want to look at marketing in general. Everything that you do that is marketing must have what is referred to as a call to action. Anybody know what the call to action is with your marketing? It's the same thing for everybody. Anybody know? Take a guess. Shoot it. Get the phone to ring. How do you get the phone to ring? What do you say? Call me, Moon. That's right. So what you do is everything that you do, any kind of advertising, give me a call. Call me. Happy to help you. It's not an inconvenience because so many people will go, sorry to bother you. You're not a bother. So you want to go ahead and make sure that anything that you do with marketing has a call to action that says, call me and wait for it, put your phone number. Do you know how many ads that I see on social media that somebody says, call me, but they don't leave their phone number? And when I go into their profiles, I can't find their phone number anywhere. How's anybody supposed to call you or connect with you if they don't have your phone number? So it sounds so easy and it sounds so basic, but guys, it would blow your mind at the amount of agents that I see that make these simple mistakes that it's like, ooh, okay, you have to be purposeful for what you do, right? So, let me scroll up here a little bit. How do you find out how to change uplines? That is the business planning and goal setting. So I will actually answer that right now because we have a little bit of time. So you have the power to choose to have an upline by carrier, by product. So, for example, you can have Medicare Answers Now that does your Medicare, and you can have Premier that does your individual under 65. You can have um, Senior Market Sales that does your Aetna, United, and Humana Medicare, and you can have Senior Security Benefits that does your Anthem, WellCare, and United. You have the ability of going ahead and making those choices. When it comes to uplines, there are a couple of things that I am going to tell you as you evaluate your business relationships. The first one is did you get what you needed? Did you? If you didn't, did you say something to the upline that you didn't get what you needed? Did you ask for help? I'm going to guarantee you that about half of the people that are on this call said, I didn't get what I needed, but I didn't even bother to ask. That is a you problem. That is not your upline's problem. If you don't tell me that you need the help and ask, just like dating, and you guys are going to laugh at me for this, but it's just like dating. How is it that your partner is supposed to read your mind that you're hungry and you want tacos on a Tuesday if you don't go and use your words to say, honey, I want to go for margaritas and I want to go have my tacos? You can't be mad at them for going and not feeding you tacos on Tuesday, right? It is the same thing when it comes to your relationship with your FMO. If you have not said, I need marketing help, I want to go ahead and develop a flyer. I'm not a graphic designer. Do you guys even have somebody that does that? I need help learning how to use my quoting enrollment tools. Do you have somebody to show me those? If you did not ask those questions and you're pissed off at your upline, turn that anger against yourself because it's your fault. And yes, I said that. If you asked for help repeatedly and you got things like, and these are direct quotes of the things that have happened, until you sell something, you're not worth my time, so go kick rocks and learn yourself. Go find a new upline. That person's shit. If you have gone ahead and sent emails saying, I need help with a question, and I've already gone to broker support and I need help with an escalation, and you hear crickets, go find a new upline. If you have an upline that is going ahead and telling you that making comparisons to other people, talking to you in a derogatory nature, being unprofessional, if any of that stuff is happening, go find another upline. But if you are with somebody that you have been with less than a year or two and you have not used your voice, don't just jump to jump. If you've gone through 2 to 3 uplines over the last 5 years and you're looking to jump again, I'm telling you, odds are the problem is you, it's not the upline. And some of you are going to be big mad that I said that, but I am. I will also tell you, when you go ahead and you do this, you want to go ahead and interview 3 to 5 uplines and ask them each time that you do. You want to interview them because your needs are different than everybody else's. How you run your business is different than everybody else's. But those interviews start now. And those are the things that you want to evaluate. You have to look at your relationships. Is it a fit? Did that vendor piss you off and you need to find a new vendor for leads and mailers? Do you need to go ahead and find a new supply company, a new phone company because you hate your cell service? Whatever that is, those are the things that you want to start looking at when you are using this year in review type of a thing. So, George, we haven't done the third notebook yet. We're still on marketing and we're still on the first one. So I'm ping-ponging between the two. So, those are different things that you want to go ahead and have. The other question that I just got asked are what are the best books that I've read that I recommend for all of you to read? Believe it or not, they're not industry books. Some of you do need to look at industry books. So if you have not read the new Medicare and You book, you need to get one. If you do not know how to order a Medicare paper version of the Medicare and You book, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to go to Medicare and You publications, and you are going to be able to order, and you want the one that is specific to you. You can get 5 of these books directly from CMS. I ordered them. They are, for some reason, that's in Spanish, which I think is hysterical. There we go. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to copy and paste. And then because this is not defaulting it, and if you have not played on this website, you will see that there is there it is. Okay, so it's right here, and you can hit this order to print. So if you do that, you can order 5 of these to be able to reference. Now, why do you need a most current version of that? Because, guys, it changes every single year. You want to read it cover to cover. Next book that I suggest is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits by James Clear. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. That is another one I would recommend that you guys get and read that talks about big rocks and planning your year. So when you are, I get so many people that ask me, how the hell do you manage all of the things that you do in a year? How are you able to do all of these things? Well, first thing that I do is my 2025 year with all my big rock things is planned. So for some of you, I'm sure you're like, what the hell is she talking about with a big rock? What is that? How many of you guys like to go on vacation? How many of you guys plan AEP trips for at the next year as a reward for yourself to because you work so hard, you want to go travel somewhere good, right? I do this. I work to travel. So I plan 2 trips each year. One is to the Caribbean in January. It's usually a cruise, and it goes ahead, and that's my trip 1. Trip 2 is usually in May and June, April, May, June timeframe. It is usually 2 weeks. It is usually overseas. It is usually expensive as hell. I plan those trips at least a year to 2 years out. That is a big rock. That is something that is a goal of mine that I want. Come hell or high water, I want to go on that trip. So in 2026, I'll use myself as the example because, again, I don't want to call people out. 2026, I will turn 50. So I want to go on a European trip around my birthday to celebrate my 50th birthday. I love Venice. So sure as hell, I am going to be in Venice at some point during that time period. So I am already planning and have been planning for at least 6 months now that 2026 trip. Now, between the airfare, the spending money, the trip itself, and all the things that go along with it, I'm going to need to have, let's say, $10,000. And I'm making that number up. It's actually more than that, but let's say it's that. So then what you're going to do is I'm going to set those dates and put them in my calendar. I live and die by my Outlook calendar. Everything in my life is in my calendar. I do that for accountability. I do that for time management. I do that to assess whether I'm working on the right things at the right time. It also allows me to make sure that I'm able to get to all the things, right? So that goes into my calendar as a big rock. And I keep forgetting that I can share my screen. So let me do that. Let's horrify you a little bit more. So let me go into my calendar. And this is my 2025 year. Okay. So I'm showing this to you so that you can see. I have my cruise booked from the 11th to the 20th. I have classes. I have conferences that I need to be at that are booked in here. I have people's birthdays. Everything that is hot pink is a conference or travel that I need to go. Tim and I are going to Alaska this year. This is my big trip that I've been planning since 2022. So these are things that I do, and they are all blocked off so that that way I can make damn sure that they happen. Anything that is green is personal. Anything that's a birthday you can see in here. You can see that I have my CE classes blocked out. When you do your calendar, you want to have your big rocks put in here first because then they're going to happen. So those can be things like birthdays and trips and holidays and graduations and graduation parties and all of those things. So you want to have those available to you. Okay. Once you start doing that, it becomes a hell of a lot easier to attain those. And then it also becomes a hell of a lot easier that it's not a, well, it must be nice and someday this may end up happening. No, I'm going to make it happen. Here's the goal. What is it going to take to get me to that goal? And I can set those vacations up because most of the stuff that I do is cruise related. And for $250, I can put the down payment on the cruise, and then it's basically a layaway for me to go ahead and pay off on it as I need. So that's where you want to go ahead and go when you're looking at doing that. I have an Audible subscription. So for those of you that are looking at additional books, when I went to El Salvador, I actually put on social media the book that I was reading for that one. But the book is called Buy Back Your Time. Buy Back Your Time. That's another one that I recommend that you read. I felt so called out on that book, I can't begin to tell you because it was me. All of the things that this author is talking about and the concerns and the feelings and all of the things, I'm like, well, damn, that's exactly how I feel. Came home, started implementing what he's talking about. Boom, felt better instantly. So those are the things that you want to look at. The other one is Adam Grant's Hidden Potential is another one. And I I try to read one book a quarter. One book a month I can't do. Because the only time that I really get a chance to read this type of development book, it is when I'm traveling and flying. I read for 30 minutes every morning. Most of you know that. I get up, I'm not a morning person. I have my coffee and I do all of my industry reading. So, what do I read every morning to make sure that I'm smart about what's happening in our industry? There are multiple magazines: Fierce Healthcare, Modern Healthcare, MedPage, Kaiser Family Foundation. I do scroll through a bunch of the creators on LinkedIn to get all of my development information. Those are things that I read. Smart Briefs. I subscribe to the AHIP Smart Briefs on our industry and read all the headlines through there. That is the 30-minute reading that I do every day so that I'm aware of where the trends are and how to move forward. I also not only read the industry stuff, I also have a smart brief that talks about leadership. I have another one that talks about marketing trends. And I read at least an article a day on both of those so that I can stay forward thinking on business continues to evolve. What we did 5 years ago is not how we do business today. While we did business 10, 15 years ago is not how we do business today. You have to stay on top of those things in order to continue to be successful and baby steps with it. It is much easier to read a couple of pages a day than to sit down and say, oh God, I have to read a 300-page book today. If I do a little bit, it makes it more manageable, right? So those are the things that you want to go ahead and look at. Stephen Covey's book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I have a few people that were looking for that book. The other thing that I would, let's see. For those of you that are not in the Ms. Medicare group on Facebook, get in that. The other group that I have is co-ed. So anybody can join it, male or female, and that is Medicare Marketing and Motivation. So you definitely want to go ahead and look at that one as well. The third book that I keep. So I have one that is for marketing, one that is for best practices, and my third book is my to-do book. So that is the one for every meeting that I take notes. You should be doing that with every single one of your clients. You have got to take notes. So when you do that, I have my follow-up. So I took a meeting with a social media, I'm going to start working with somebody to help me manage all the social media stuff because right now I personally manage all the comments, all the threads, all of the pages, all the things. I have a couple of moderators, but typically it's me that is answering your stuff back or approving it. It's a little too much to do with teaching and educating and all the other things, right? So I'm looking at hiring somebody, and I had a conference. I had a call with her yesterday, and I was working at home. I did not have my notebook with me. And we were talking about Medicarians, and I knew that there were 2 deadlines that were coming on things that they were going to announce out into the social media world, right? And I knew one was January 9th. I couldn't remember what the other one was. This is why you take notes. I came in, sure as shit. First thing that is on my desk is that January 9th and February 11th. That was the date. And it even tells me what it is that those 2 announcements are. So now I can go back to Megan and go, oh, okay, this is what this was that I forgot. So you want to make sure that you have a daily notebook, a marketing notebook, and a best practice one. Those will really help you when you are looking at doing this stuff. So other things that you want to go ahead and look at is that the biggest step for you right now is, one, did you get your holiday cards out? Reconcile your commissions. It is no one's responsibility but yours to manage your business. If you aren't getting paid, it's your own fault. If you are assuming that the carrier is going to pay you and just have it on faith that everything that they do is going to be correct 100% of the time, After 15 years of working for carriers, this is me telling you, audit your commissions a minimum of twice a year. If you are sitting there saying, I don't have the time to do that, then pay somebody. You should be using a CRM tool. The one that I like is Agency Block. Most of my agents use it. I know Medicare Pro is another one that people use. Go High Level, Go Guru. All of those other ones are out there. Find a CRM and use it. You should put all of your prospects. Anybody that ever calls you asking about insurance should go in your CRM. Even if you don't sell them, you go ahead and you put them in your CRM to touch them the following year. You want to make sure that you do that. The third notebook is for your daily meetings. It is for you to have a notebook of what you did when to be able to reference after the fact. So you need to do your commissions. You need to do your thank you notes. You need to do your holiday cards. You need to do your turning 65 stuff. You need to start going ahead and plan for, if they are not already planned, you're late, but you've got to get out into the community and plan for all of first quarter. Why is that important? You cannot market OEP, but you can go ahead and talk about all the SEPs that are available. You can talk about turning 65. You can talk about retirement. This OEP is going to be super busy, guys. So get visible in your community so that you are out there. The more approachable that you are and the more that they see you, the more that your phone will ring. But you got to do it. So focus on your first quarter events. Get those planned in the next week. Do your year in review. Audit your commissions. Most carriers have a 12-month look back. So if you were not paid correctly in the last 12 months, do that now. Send a spreadsheet that says I'm missing commissions for these 20 people, and here's their name, here's their date of birth, their Medicare member ID, and the plan that they're on. And here's the commission that is missing. Have them audit that. It is so important. I have agents that have found thousands of dollars by doing that. You have got to do it. Make the time. So those are the things that you want to go ahead and look at. What is the first step to joining us? Jump on my website. Check out my Cyberstalk me. Take a look at the website. See all the things that are on there. And then click the schedule a meeting and schedule a meeting so that way you can set some time up for me or one of my staff to talk with you about what you want to be when you grow up and how we help you get there. Buy Back Your Time is the third book that I said. So you have 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Buy Back Your Time, Ways to Buy Back Your Time, and Atomic Habits. Those are the 3 books that I would definitely go and look at. Yes, it sounds like a lot, which is why I am pretty deliberate with breaking things off into 3 actionable items that I want you to do moving forward. Your year in review is 1, your audit your commissions is 2, and then the third thing, if I have to prioritize, is get your fourth quarter your first quarter events planned. Those are the 3 things that you want to make sure that you do now. Belinda says 2 years ago, 300 WellCare people that she wasn't getting paid for. Did the audit. If they didn't pay you for it, then you've got to go ahead and fight fire with fire and get your FMO involved. But you do want to go ahead and do that. Keep in mind that disaster SEPs cannot be marketed, and the 2 million people that got their plans terminated this AEP still have an SEP that you can write them on. So you want to go ahead and do that. Amy says she found $4,000 by doing an audit, guys. These are the things that you want to go ahead and do. Julie, how do you let people know about OEP if you can't market it? Very carefully. So you say things like, um, having trouble paying for your, go to the pharmacy after the new year and discover that you can't pay for your prescriptions. Give me a call. There may be opportunities for you to get into another plan. See what I did there? It's not specifically calling out OEP because they could qualify for an SEP, like disaster, like their plan terminating, like leaving off of group, like getting extra help. But leave it as vague as that, and then you're good to go. Other questions that we've got. Do I have a mailing list for non-downline individuals? I'm looking at putting that together right now. I do have one. I just have to get you guys the link so that way you can sign up for it. If you have attended any of my classes, you're already on it. Because I send those emails out usually about once a month, once a quarter, depending. What types of events do you suggest in OEP? Anything and everything. Get visible in your communities. So sponsor the high school teams in the winter sports. Get out in your communities doing turning 65 stuff. Get out in your communities doing social stuff. You've got New Year's parties, you've got Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Get involved. Everything you do does not need to be about selling. Have them learn who you are first. It becomes a much easier sell if they know you and they trust you, and you say, hey, my name's Brandy, I teach Medicare, but today I'm going to call bingo and we're going to have some fun. I guarantee you that will linger in their head. And then when they actually learn who you are, then they'll come back and go, Brandy, you mentioned that you do Medicare. Can I ask you a question? And that's exactly what you want to have happen. Shoving Medicare down somebody's throat is a turnoff. Again, think about it like dating. Nobody wants to date the smarmy guy that's too pushy. Nobody, no guy that I know wants to date a needy girl, right? That's how you need to think about it. Ease your way into it. That's how this works. Okay. Michelle, did I see the CMS from letter? Yeah, that's April's problem. I'm not focusing on that right now. I'm focusing on right now. So, are we not allowed to tell people about OEP? You can say, if somebody comes to you and says, I have a plan and I hate this, you can say, well, there's an opportunity to change come January 1. Let's see if there's an opportunity to change now with an SEP, but we can go ahead and we can do that. Lauren says, volunteer at church. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Valentine's Day is a big one. Guys, most of the seniors that are out there, we all know this. Senior men die faster than senior women. Go buy dozens of flowers at the local floral market, get them on discount, and go hand them out. Most women that are seniors have not gotten flowers in years, and it will make them smile. Go to the local nursery and buy primrose plants. They'll cost you $1.99 a piece, and go hand those out. It will make somebody smile. Go do that. It will be the best money that you spend. It is the dumb things like that that matter. I do have a YouTube on events. I will do another one after I load all of these. There is so much content coming to you guys. It is ridiculous. Do I offer advice on business structure? Yes, that is the class on Monday that we'll talk about setting that up. What are events that you can do starting out that get involved in your communities? There's 1,001. Look at my YouTube on events. We talk about that. There's all sorts of different things. Hand them out where? Anywhere. Anywhere. Go to your senior center and hand them out there. Go to any senior living facility and hand them out there. Get to any of the apartments complexes and just leave them at people's homes with a note and a business card saying, I hope you have a great day. Little baby things like this matter. You want to show seniors that they are seen. Why is this important? Because senior Isolation is a very, very real problem. The majority of seniors out there do not have somebody talk to them on a daily basis. They are lonely as hell. So connect with them. And don't do it by, hi, I'm going to connect with you and try to shove Medicare down your throat. You do it as a person to person. That's how. Get involved with craft classes. So, Lizzie, I saw that you're in here, so I'm going to call you out. Lizzie is all about the craft. She does all sorts of artsy stuff. She does it and she enrolls it or she puts it in the state fairs and she wins a tons of awards. There are groups out there of seniors that crochet and knit and do it for charity. There are classes that you can teach for craft stuff because they just want something to do to get out of the house. Those are things that you want to go ahead and look at. Okay. And I didn't realize that we are 4 after, so I am going to have this go to a close. My next class is Monday at 12:30. It is on business strategy and goal setting. The next class after that is the state of Medicare, and there are all sorts of things coming, guys. So if you want to follow the events tab on my Facebook, we'll have everything there. MedicareAnswersNow.com/ calendar has the events there as well. I will load this into my YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. You can listen to the replays. I know many of you, because I talk so fast, do take these, listen to the replay so that you can get the notes and hear them a second, third, fourth time. I hope this was worth your time, guys. And I am so glad that you were able to be here. If you want to help me, tell other agents about my stuff. Have them follow me on social media. Have them get on meetings. It is 12:30 on Monday, I believe, is when that class is, George. And thank y'all. Have a great rest of your week. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays if I don't see you Monday. And have a good one. Thank you.